This is the Night Beat with Mort Krim, Carmen Harlan, Van Earl Wright Sports, and Chuck Gaedica's Big Picture Forecast.
Good evening. Tonight's big story is an attack on a staff member in a Michigan prison. A 33-year-old Milan woman was murdered today inside the Huron Valley men's facility. Another prison staffer found her body. Now the search is on for a killer. NightBeat's Ann Thompson is at the prison in Pittsfield Township near Ypsilanti, and she has the latest on where that investigation is focusing now. Ann?
More Michigan State Police are investigating the murder of Tammy Sperle, and they are hoping that a security camera in the store area may have caught the killer or killers on tape. However, there is no tape, no explanation, no reason that tonight can soothe the Sperle family's pain.
I told her I love her goodbye. Said I love you too.
Alan and Tammy Sperle spoke those words to each other every morning, and when Alan left for work Monday, he had no reason to believe that that would be the last time. But someone killed Tammy Sperle Monday while she took inventory in the prison store at the Huron Valley men's facility. Now Alan and his two teenage sons, Chad and Jason, hold on to each other's hands, and Tammy's last words to them.
She dropped me off, she said I love you, I said I love you back.
The Michigan Department of Corrections hired Tammy Sperle as a civilian employee in 1986. For the last 2 years, she worked here at Huron Valley, a close security facility. Monday afternoon, a corrections officer found Sperle face down in a cage storage area.
At that point, they noticed her face had some swelling, loose teeth, again, more bleeding. They checked and tried to administer CPR, and at that point, they found a shoelace tied around her neck.
A heartbroken family remembers a woman who was quick with a kind gesture and even quicker to tell them she loved them.
He was always there for me to talk to him. That was real important. Anything I needed to say to her, he was always there.
She listened well?
Very well. She always wanted me to talk, even when I wasn't too happy to talk to her. He was always there to listen.
And she was always there for Alan, even after they got divorced.
We've known each other, we've dated each other since we were 12 and 13 years old. Got married and we're together ever since. And got in a couple arguments and thought we wanted a divorce, and we never split up and got the divorce, and we stayed together right after it.
Alan Sperle says Tammy never talked much about the dangers inherent in her job. She accepted them and went on. Like her family, Tammy's co-workers are having trouble accepting her death and going on.
I can only say she's one of the nicest people that you could possibly meet. Very caring. If she asked about anybody, it wasn't to be nosy. It wasn't to pass gossip. She truly cared about people and her family, and just a very, very nice person.
Tonight, 4 prisoners, 2 who worked in the store and 2 who may have had contact with Tammy Sperle, are in segregated cells. The entire prison is in a lockdown situation. More information about the killing is expected tomorrow. Mort?
And did Tammy's husband or ex-husband mention whether she'd had any problems with the prisoners that she'd talked about?
He said no, that she had not talked to him about any problems she had with any specific prisoner, and he certainly is at a loss tonight as to why anyone would kill the mother of his 2 teenage sons.
All right, thank you, Ann, for that report. This is the first murder of a staff member at a Michigan prison since 1987. That's when a corrections officer was killed inside the state prison at Jackson. Carmen?
Residents of a nursing home in Highland Park had to be moved out tonight to find a warm place to stay. The heating system in that nursing home is having problems. The NightBeat's Devin Skillion joins us from Highland Park. And Devin, this is not the kind of weather for that kind of problem.
Well, isn't that the truth, Carmen? We always talk about how seniors have a few extra problems when it gets this cold, and that is being played out tonight in rather prolific fashion here at the Park Geriatric Village. Nearly 50 residents have had their lives thrown into disarray tonight because upstairs here, it's just too cold. The frigid trip from the door to the ambulance was only part of the ordeal for the residents. At the other end of the trip, there was a foreign home waiting, foreign faces, and foreign food for who knows how long. This started with a phone call to the State Department of Health.
Well, we got a complaint at our Detroit office headquarters earlier today from a patient with respect to lack of heat in the building and staff and patients having to go around with coats on.
The temperature on the second floor of the home had fallen into the low 60s. For most people, that's just a chilly inconvenience. For nursing home residents, some of them confined to bed, it's getting dangerous. Technically, the furnace was working.
The system is functioning to its maximum potential. However, the system does not seem to be able to capable to deal with the cold temperatures in the last week or so.
So the state ordered the home to move all 45 of the second-floor patients to other homes. It meant a backup of ambulances 6 deep in front of Park Geriatric Village. They were being taken to other homes in Park's corporate circle. When they can come back may depend on the weather as much as the furnace. They could use some warmer days and warmer nights here, that's for sure, but until they can prove to the state health department that they can keep the upstairs at a more livable temperature range, that upstairs will be off limits to patients. And Carmen, I should mention, we had thought earlier that all of the transfers were complete tonight, but I just saw one of the ambulance drivers run around the building, so they may not have gotten everybody transferred out yet tonight. There may still be a few more to go.
Devin, has the nursing home had anything to say about this tonight?
They haven't had any comment. Earlier on when we arrived here, went inside, it appeared that they were going to be willing to talk to us, and then apparently they seemed to sense a public relations problem and ask us to leave the inside of the building. So tonight we really don't know what their plans are as far as when they'll have things fixed. Maybe they'll be talking tomorrow or releasing a statement. We'll wait and see.
All right, Devin, thank you for that report. It appears the health department took its action in time. There are no reports of any health problems for those patients because of the low heat in the home. Well, the cold weather apparently led to the death of a man tonight. His body was found under an overpass at 8 Mile and Telegraph. So far, police haven't released his name. They say he might have been a transient. Officers tell us the man's body was frozen to the ground.
Well, the deep freeze that has spread across the nation is affecting OJ tonight. This time it's the kind you drink. Frantic farmers sprayed their youngest orange trees overnight to coat them with ice and to protect them from a damaging freeze. Still, those groves could lose half of their crop to the cold. Nature proved fickle. Groves just a few miles away were not damaged at all, but pickers speeded up the harvest there to stay one step ahead of this extreme cold in Florida. People in Chicago are looking forward to the end of the deep freeze, especially some people whose cars are literally stuck in the ice. A broken water pipe from a house spilled water onto one Chicago street, and several cars were frozen in up to their wheel covers. The poor owners of these cars are simply going to have to wait for a melt-off before they can drive off. And if those pictures of cars stuck in ice leave you cold, take a look at our video of the day. It's from Minneapolis. There was a fire in an apartment Friday night. Everybody got out safely, but firefighters had to pour a lot of water on the building in 0-degree weather to put the fire out, and that left a eerie kind of ice house. Many people in the Twin Cities drove by the site today. It has now become a midwinter tourist attraction.
The Detroit Police Department's Child Abuse Unit is looking for the mother of 5 children. Police say they found the children, who are between 1 and 10 years old, home alone, apparently since last Friday. Tonight, the NightBeat's Rod Maloney has more, including what the mother told him about the case.
Detroit police say they found the children alone in this home in Mayfield. Broken windows covered with plastic upstairs, frost on the windows downstairs, sure signs the kids suffered in the cold. The children, 3 boys aged 1, 3, and 7, 2 girls aged 5 and 10, all sent to their aunt's home. Neighbor Tony Williams saw the police do their work and is not surprised.
I just don't see no parents. I don't know where the parents are. I just see kids. I don't see.
Sources tell the NightBeat the mother is battling a crack cocaine habit. Neighbor Darren Fisher believes that.
Look, I go to work at 12 o'clock. When I come back, I see her coming up the street running after me, for certain little products. I've been smoking, she wanted smoke and all. But she don't have any coat, and I know it's below 0. It's cold outside.
Shortly after we did our first story on the sadness in this house, we were called over to this house. The neighbors are friends here, and a woman who identified herself only as the mother of the children in this house talked to me on the telephone, and she said clearly that, quote, I did not leave my children alone. I asked her where she was when the police came and picked up her children and gave them over to their aunt, and she said, quote, I went to the store. She went on to say that nosy people do nosy things that they should not do. She also said, quote, I love my kids. I did not leave my kids. This is all nothing but lies. But she's still on the run. Rod Maloney, NightBeat.
The Department of Social Services is also investigating this case. Detroit police say this is not the first time the children's aunt has taken custody of the children. A running argument that ended with a murder on Detroit's east side tonight. Witnesses say 2 men in their 20s had been arguing with one another for several days. They say one of them pulled out a gun and shot the other man at an apartment in the 9400 block of Chalmers tonight. The shooting victim was dead at the scene. Police are looking for the gunman.
3 Philadelphia teenagers were convicted of murder today in the beating death of another teen in 1994. The case got a lot of attention because Philadelphia 911 operators took 40 minutes to send police and were rude to some of the people who called them.
Fox chase here, and we got a near riot, and there's no damn police around here. Where? On Ridgeway Street. Well, I don't know that. We've been calling. Everybody in the damn neighborhood has been calling there.
The case startled Philadelphia. 7 911 operators were disciplined for what they did and what they did not do on that night. 16-year-old Eddie Pollock was beaten to death with a baseball bat. Now 3 teenagers have been convicted of murder in that case. O.J. Simpson told part of his story today, and you can hear it tonight without spending $29.95 for the videotape. Simpson called the CNN show Burden of Proof today. He promoted his video, but he also answered some questions.
O.J., during the course of the trial, what did you think was the worst evidence from your perspective that the prosecution had against you?
I really don't know. I would imagine the blood evidence.
O.J., tell me how Ron Goldman's DNA got in your Bronco.
I have absolutely no idea. I think we should be asking LAPD that.
Do you have any information to suggest that the murder of Nicole was drug-related?
Let me put it this way. I have no doubt in my mind, no doubt whatsoever, that the answer to these murders are in the world of Faye Rusnick. None whatsoever. What she wrote in her book about Nicole had nothing to do with if I committed the crime or not. No friend would ever do that. My daughter, Sydney Brooke, has got to hear this crap that this girl wrote in that book. That's nobody's friend. I have no doubt in my mind, no doubt whatsoever, that the answer to these murders are in the world of Faye Rusnick.
Faye Rusnick has responded to Simpson's comments. She simply calls him a liar.
What is supposed to be fun is becoming deadlier than ever before. And our Night Beat investigation shows it's not the snowmobiles causing the problem. Ahead on the Night Beat, how snow, speed, and booze combine for a fast ride to danger. Chuck Adica is working on your forecast in Weather Watch 4. He has news about a break from the brutal cold. We'll be right back.
You're watching the Night Beat at 11, Detroit's #1 news team.
Closed captioning is brought to you as a public service by the makers of New Arudis KT, the potent medicine for pain. So potent, just 25 milligrams relieves even tough headaches.
Don't be left out of the picture. Come to the 1996 Detroit Boat Show, Cobo Center, February 3rd through the 11th. See what you've been missing. Call 1-800-932-2628 for more information.
She's got her mother's eyes, her father's nose, and her very own lines on your tax return.
Changes in your life mean changes in your taxes. So come to H&R Block, because it's your money.
It's a fabulous neighborhood. Down the street is the school, and around the block is H&R Block.
Sold. Changes in your life mean changes in your taxes. So come to H&R Block, because it's your money.
I got a passion.
626. Total luxury. Priced like a base Altima. Best basic warranty in its class. 626. Lease a 626 from $209, $999 down. 626.
Thanks to Sprint Business, there's a company who does more business in skis.
Sprint gave us an edge.
Sprint worked with Volant and brought them real solutions to help them get ahead so they can check orders online from anywhere and promote new products through video conferencing. Now they do business a whole new way.
And sales are really soaring.
We'll help your business do more business. Call Sprint Business.
President Clinton is planning to make good on a fundraising event here in Detroit, which he had to cancel last year. He's tentatively scheduled to be in Michigan March 4th. Details of the trip have not been worked out. The president postponed the trip last year to attend the funeral of Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin. Today, while the president was busy at the White House meeting with the nation's governors, a federal judge was ordering a subpoena for President Clinton to testify at next month's Whitewater trial. He'll be a defense witness for Susan McDougal. Her ex-husband ran a failed savings and loan and says only the president can give testimony that will clear her. She's accused of taking a $300,000 loan illegally. A former Little Rock banker says Clinton pressured him to make that loan. The president denies the charge. A White House spokesperson says Mr. Clinton probably will testify on videotape.
Michigan has more than 200,000 snowmobilers. That's more than any other state. But as the Night Beat's Roger Weber shows us, some people are paying for the fun with their lives.
They zip down the trails as their engines echo through Michigan's North Woods.
It's like an adrenaline rush.
But DNR officers and paramedics know it's much more than that.
When they come by, you tell them to slow down. Every corner we come to, we have problems.
This problem is all too familiar.
Tried to get her to sit up in her.
You were on the snowmobile with her?
Yeah, I was driving. She was on the back. We stopped, and they didn't see us stopping. They come up, hit her in the back.
It's a 40-minute ride to the nearest hospital. She'll be all right, but others won't be. About a year ago, Michigan toughened its rules on snowmobiling, especially against drunk drivers. But this year, it looks like we're heading toward a record number of deadly accidents. 24 people have been killed this season in snowmobile accidents. That's only 2 below the state record, and we have a lot of winter left. Victims fall through the ice, they hit wires and trees. They hit cars and other snowmobiles. 3 weeks ago, Patricia Dwyer was snowmobiling on Higgins Lake with her boyfriend, Tony Bartolomucci. The bright sun may have kept him from seeing a foot-thick ridge in the ice.
He was probably going 50, and the snowmobile went up in the air and did a complete circle and landed, and he went up in the air about 15, 20 feet.
He was wearing a helmet, but the impact broke his neck.
That was it, and he was gone. They took him to Grayling Hospital, but he was dead on arrival.
The Tip-Up Town Festival on Houghton Lake used to be about fishing. Now it belongs to snowmobilers. It's Woodstock on ice.
This is absolutely the best.
With thousands of snowmobiles darting through a whiteout, you'd think drivers would want complete control of their senses. Think again. Many chose to party in the beer tent. Are you going to be able to go out okay on a snowmobile?
Yes, I will, sir. I'll be fine and dandy. I just put it on and go. Ride my Polaris.
Many of them threw down their empties, picked up their helmets, and hopped back on.
I'm going to be requesting that you take a preliminary breath test.
This man barely passed. But DNR says drinking has been involved in 80% of the fatalities this year.
You have zero protection on a snowmobile. You don't have airbags. You don't have seat belts.
One man flaunted drinking and driving as he passed a family taking their lunch break. What do you think when you see a guy like that with beer cans on his helmet?
Oh, watch out for him. Get out of his way.
You know, those guys that go fast and, really tearing up the tracks, they don't realize there's kids out here. And there's families out here.
Tomorrow, incredible speeds and tragic consequences. I'm Roger Weber, Night Beat.
And tomorrow on the Night Beat, Roger will show us one of the wilder sides of snowmobiling, drag racing on Lake St. Clair.
Well, the cold weather gripping much of the nation led to a dramatic rescue that was caught on videotape. You'll see it ahead on the Night Beat. Chuck's forecast is next.
Did you ever wish you could sort of ease your way into the day? Then be sure to join us tomorrow morning.
We'll wake you up with a behind-the-scenes look at the place that produces some of the smoothest sounds around.
I'll be live at WJZZ Radio, so be sure to join us for Newsbeat Today.
You know, the way things are going, I think we need another phone line.
Am I missing something, Fred?
Well, not now. I mean on Saturday. Everybody calls on Saturday.
Well, how can we afford an extra line for just one day?
Get Ameritech Flexline, the lower-cost extra line for when your business gets busy. Order Flexline now and get free installation.
Well, there's got to be a way.
Ameritech, your link to better communication.
It's Art Van's any-size one low-price mattress sale. Get huge savings at Michigan's largest bedding retailer, like the orthopedic bedding, any size, just $59. Yes, any size, twin, full, queen, even king, just $59. All bedding is on sale, including the largest selection of Sealy Posturepedic and Simmons Beauty Rest. Buy now and you do not pay for 1 full year. And with Mattress Express, you'll get next-day delivery free. Hurry to Art Van's any-size one low-price mattress sale today.
Ralph Lauren Sport for Women, the new fragrance and skin fitness line. Available at Hudson's.
Honey, pinch me.
Return to your senses in Florida.
Live from Orlando, it's SeaWorld.
Let's go see the Cub Bird simulator ride.
Just pick one.
Whoa, cool.
Prepare yourself for a bad hair day.
SeaWorld of Florida. Let the adventure begin.
BMW traction control, because we all have places to go. Available on 96 BMWs, including all the new 328s.
This weather update is brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
We have one school closing to tell you about. Bethlehem Lutheran School in Roseville will be closed Tuesday or tomorrow because of problems with their boiler system. So those kids get at least a free day.
Does it say anything there about what you got me for National Weather Person's Day?
Oh, that's right. It was National Weather
Well, it still is. It not was.
Give him your pens,
It's that
Morse.
blank page right there.
Man, you still have 40 minutes.
Morse got a pen and pencil.
You two are the most
Yeah.
powerful people I know. You could get anything here.
Yeah. Well, you
Sports
need to get
car,
a life
anything.
if that's true.
Here you go. What's this, a pen?
That's a pen. That's part of his
Write it down. Write what you want.
Oh, write it down. Okay. All right. Take a look now at where we are for the day. Highs and lows coming
new
into
car.
Yes, a new door number 1. Okay, 22 degrees the high today, the low 0. 31 and 16 are the averages, and there you see 51 and minus 16 are the all-time records. I don't have a little sports car. Outside right now, here's where we go. A clear sky, 11 degrees, humidity is 66%, barometric pressure is 30.39 and rising, and the wind is blowing out of the northwest at 10. Wind chill is minus 7. I'm not even sure what the origin of this National Weather Person's Day is. Hallmark did not invent it, neither did I. 11 degrees now. Detroit Metro Airport, 11 at Grand Rapids. Chicago is the same. Traverse City, a few flurries, 10 degrees. Alpena, 7. We've had some high cloudiness drifting across the area. Officially, they're calling it fair, but there might still be a few little high clouds. 3 degrees at the Sioux, minus 6 up around Marquette. Sunrise, sunset times are pictured for you. Here's a little different perspective, a different tilt on things. You can see, the mid-Atlantic coast and fair sky, the Ohio, Tennessee Valley, fair sky. A few puffy clouds down close to the Gulf, but we've got this cloudiness close to home. We'll take you flying and bring you close. You can see what's going on for us. We get through that billowy stuff, and here's this middle and high-level cloudiness that's been drifting across the area. Little front coming through and sort of washing out. Past 2 days' worth of satellite picture shows some fair sky last